Welcome back to Subtle. This is Ahmed, and we are at the Little Mermaid family screening. Now, I just got back from seeing The Little Mermaid, and I have plenty of thoughts to share with you, so let's get started. Now, prior to this film coming out, I saw plenty of discourse online about the casting of Ariel. People were very upset with her, whether it was acting or other things. I will tell you for a fact, Ariel's casting is perfect. Now, I didn't really care too much, I didn't have any preconceptions about the casting. I just went in with an open mind and kept away from, sort of the build up to this and the trailers. Genuinely, I'd seen the original when I was a kid. I thought that Halle played the innocence of Ariel, this mermaid, young mermaid, who finds this new world of man and is exploring and has her thoughts and her teachings about how men were, evil and bad, how those ideals change. And she truly played that so well. Someone who goes from innocent to, exploring, understanding. I couldn't picture anyone else playing her. Now, I think the cast overall was pretty good. Everyone played their role pretty well. There wasn't anyone particularly bad, but Ariel was definitely the best cast. Now, like any Disney movie, it is over the top. So if you're coming to this expecting some sort of very subtle adaptation of The Little Mermaid, something more artistic, it's not that. It is a pure Disney film. But as long as you know that going in, which I did and everyone else did, it's fine. It is exactly what you expect. The music in this film is actually pretty good. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of musicals, particularly the ones where every 5 minutes or every time there's a human emotion, they just break out into song that lasts longer than the actual scenes. But what I really, really appreciated about this film is that they keep it scarce. They only use song when it's absolutely warranted. They still allow the actors to have normal scenes speaking, showing human emotion, but then when the story calls for it, when you think, hey, this would be a good place for a song, they put a song in and it works really well. In total, there's maybe about 5-6 songs. And you know what? When it's not overdone, you kind of vibe with it. And I really appreciated that. The visuals in this film are pretty good for the most part. The concepts themselves that you see are well done. The CGI, for the most part, is pretty good. In some scenes, it's lifelike, especially the mermaid, tail, fin, whatever you want to call it. Really well done. But yeah, there are some scenes where the CGI is a bit swelly, but it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't take you out of the film at all. I got to see this film in IMAX, and I'm the biggest fan of IMAX. Now, this film utilizes the expanded ratio and sort of incorporates that into the story. So for example, you see someone swimming down into the underwater, mermaid land, and then the aspect ratio expands and you get to see more. I really, really like when the filmmakers incorporate the expanded IMAX ratio into the cinematography and into the story. And it's done really well in this film. Of course, IMAX isn't abundantly essential, but if you have the opportunity to see this in IMAX, and you don't mind spending the extra money to see it, yeah, why not? Now, one thing I wasn't the biggest fan of is that at the end of the film, there's like a big kaiju battle that ends really abruptly. And it didn't really have a place in the story. It sort of just happens just to have a big battle just for the sake of it. Now, it looks good, don't get me wrong. The CGI looks really good, but I think it just would have been better just to cut that part out, end it 10 minutes earlier. I think the kaijus, the big CGI battles, it's overdone, it's overused at this point. It's not really needed. It's kind of, the typical Marvel, DC kind of just random big battle in, even though the film's kind of over. There wasn't much point in it. It wasn't too bad. There wasn't much point in it, and there's just some stuff that they do at the end, just extra, and it's really not necessary. You could have just cut that part out, just ended it a bit earlier. But again, it's not a deal breaker. If I was to rate or compare The Little Mermaid to other films, I'd say it's about as enjoyable as your average Marvel film. It's not, you're not going to come out of it a changed man, but it's the kind of movie you go in with your friends, your family, even alone. You grab some popcorn, you go in for a couple of hours, you have a good time, you come out, you go home. It's an enjoyable film. It's something you go in, it's a popcorn flick, as I like to say. But as I said, when I came out of that screen, there were so many fans, and I said that I'm not the biggest Disney fan, Little Mermaid fan, musical fan, whatever. There were so many people who came out of that screen who were crying, who were laughing, who were having so much fun. And I spoke to so many people who said that they cried dozens of times in the film. So what did you think of the film?
Honestly, I was crying through the songs.
If you are a big Disney fan, Little Mermaid fan, musical fan, you might genuinely have a life-changing experience like I've seen these people did. So by all means, if you are any of those, please do go check this out. Now, if you describe yourself as a macho cinema going, you only like your action flicks, the gritty flicks, you're definitely thinking, this isn't the film for me. But I'm kind of like that as well. I'm more of a sci-fi, action, gritty flick kind of guy. Musicals are definitely not my thing. Disney films, really not. I haven't seen any of the live action Disney remakes, which are on my list, I promise you. But I went into this. I wouldn't have even gone to see this if I wasn't convinced to. But I went into this with an open mind. And I was actually surprised about how much I enjoyed it. But as I said, I didn't have a life-changing experience, but it was a lot of fun. I definitely liked the romance aspect of it. That was quite touching. And of course, the rest of it was fun. So listen, if you are this much a cinema goer and you've got some spare time, you got some spare money, and you kind of have the cinema urge, why not? You genuinely might be surprised about how much you enjoy this. The Little Mermaid comes out May 26th, which is a Friday. So perhaps a fun Friday night for you, maybe. Whenever you do see it, please come back to this video. Just type your review in the comments. Let me sort of see what you think. Let me sort of get the taste, sort of gauge the taste of our viewers. And I'll interact with you. We can have a little discussion about the film and perhaps even a debate. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you agree with me about, what you disagree with me about. But regardless, I hope you enjoy the film, and I hope you enjoyed this review. Here at SUBTLFILM Media, we're going to be doing a lot more film content, not just reviews. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff. We're on TikTok, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram. So please do check us out, and please do come back to us. Perhaps you also like sports, so check out our other sports videos, our other film content. But I appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you in the next film. Thanks.